Okay, we're just continuing from the last video where this store offers furniture hire purchase 20% per annum for 5 years with no repayments for 6 months. We've done the first part of the question, how much does she owe after 6 months, which was $13,251.13. Remember, you're still being charged interest compounding monthly during those 6 months. So therefore, what's going to happen is that when you do start paying off this furniture, then instead of starting to pay off the $12,000, your new principal is $13,251.13. Now, the hire purchase still goes for 5 years, so therefore there's only 4.5 years left, and 4.5 years is 54 months. So we're going to work out the monthly repayments in Part B using 54 months and the new principal. So remember, we start with what's owed at the end of the first month. So A1, which is amount owing, and I'll just write what A is for the first one. Amount owing after 1 month or the first month is, remember the formula is A equals P 1 plus R to the n. So the principal is 13,251.13. 1 plus R, we've actually worked it out earlier, which is great. 1 plus R over 100 is 61 on 60. We okay with that? So 61 over 60 to the power of 1. So that's your principal, the interest charge on that principal. What do I need to do now? Amount owing. So take away the repayment. Take away the repayment. So it's the amount owing after the first month will be your principal times your interest for 1 month minus your monthly repayment. Okay, A2. Amount owing after, remember I had already worked out what 1 plus R to the 100 was earlier in the question. It's 61 on 60. Okay, amount owing after the second month, won't that be, that's the new principal, 13,251.13 times 61 over 60 to the power of 1 minus m, and we're multiplying that by 61 over 60 to the power of 1 minus m again. So that's your P, that's your 1 plus R over 100 to the n minus m. What do we do next? We can expand. That times that, that times that. So you get 13,251.13, 61 over 60 squared minus 61 over 60 times m minus m. That's A2. Are we all good? So that's the principal. You might want to go square brackets or something here. P, 1 plus R to the n minus the repayment. So A3, you can just continue, or I wouldn't just continue, just show it, because if they say show that, you're going to need to show all steps. So that's your new principal at the beginning of the third month, that's your new principal, times 1 plus R to the n minus m, and now you can just expand that or multiply that by each of those terms. 61 on 60 cubed minus 61 on 60 squared times m minus 61 on 60 to the power of 1 times m minus m. Are we okay? So we did that times that, that times that, that times that, minus m at the end. So now you can take out m as a common factor. So A3 is 13,251.13 times 61 over 60 cubed minus m, brackets, 61 on 60 squared plus 61 on 60 to the power of 1 plus 1. So there's only 54 months of payment, so A54 will be the last one that you do. Just noticing A3 has a 3 there, so just continuing the pattern. We get 13,251.13, 61 over 60 to the power of 54 minus m times, what do I do? 61 over 60 to the plus 61 over 60 to the 52, all the way down to, I'll put the second last and the last one. I probably should be using square parentheses. So now what do we say? Remember, A54 is at the end of 54 months what's owing. So what do I now say? But A54 equals 0 as loan is paid off at the end of 54 months, 54 periods. So therefore, 0 equals that. Oh, and then I've got to write it all out again. And then you can make M the subject and do your series. Oh, actually, put it the other way around now. I'd put it the proper way at least. 1 plus 61 on 60 plus ... 61 on 60 to the 53 plus, to the 52. 61 on 60 to the 53 is the last one. That's getting very messy. So therefore M equals. Are we okay? So you may as well, if you're going to write it 0 again and rewrite it, you may as well swap this around. Do you know what I mean? So then we say M equals the 13 to 51, 13 times 61 over 60 to the power of 54 over all of this. I mean, you might even just go straight from there to there if you want. I'm sure it'd be fine. If it says to evaluate, you can. If it says to show, you need to show all steps. We good? So therefore M is that, and then we sum that series. So which is this is a geometric series with A equals 1, R equals 61 on 60, and how many terms are there? Yeah, there are 54 because you've got from 1 to 53 plus that one, it's 54 terms. So the sum of the 54 terms is A, R to the power of N minus 1 over R minus 1. I think that's 1 on 60, that R minus 1. So it's A, R to the N minus 1 over R minus 1. Anyone got an answer? $06,999 would be 07. So that's your monthly repayments, $374.07. So what are the total repayments? Isn't it that per month times what?
54.
Times 54, yeah.
And then do you include the other one as well?
But there weren't. No, there weren't. That wasn't a repayment. That was the amount owing after 6 months, Part A. Yeah. So total repayments is that times 54. Anyone?
20199.78.
So you're paying back nearly $20,200 doing it this way. Now, if we did the same interest rate and you start paying off in the first month, I'm just wondering, it probably would be less, I reckon, because, I don't know, a company will not, well, they shouldn't, they're not going to offer you interest-free, and then they've got to hold on to that product and get no repayments for 6 months. That they need it to be compensated for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. More than likely, I think the repayments, the total repayments would be less if you were paying it off straight away. Yeah. Look at question 12 and how you would do it. The 9% per annum loan with an interest-free period of 3 months, we do it very similar to how we've just done it. You'd have to, your interest rate needs to change to monthly. The first 3 months, you're going to have to work out what you owe them at the end of 3 months using A equals P1 plus R to the N, and that's your new principal that you start off with. It's just exactly like what we've done, okay? And it's 3 years, but it's going to be 3 years less 3 months for repayments. So it'll be 33 months. Whereas this other loan at 7% per annum, that just, that is for 36 months, and you'll have to divide that 7 by 12 to get your interest rate per month. And that's done for 36 months. Do you get what they're saying there? So that's probably not a bad one to do. I'll just look at question 13. Danny buys a plasma TV for $10,000 and he pays a $1,500 deposit and borrows the balance at 18% per annum for 4 years. So 10,000 is not your principal. What's your principal? Yeah, it's 8,500. Now there is no interest-free period, so it's just 8,500 interest for 1 month, which would be 18 divided by 12, 1.5%. So, and then you convert the 4 years. But remember, you just do 1 month at a time, and in the end, there will be 48 months. All right? Money over 7 years at 15.5% per annum, and she pays $1,200 a month. How much did she borrow? So it's monthly. So we're going to have to work out, let's just work out everything. We don't know the principal. We know that our repayments M are 1,200. Interest rate, we may as well just work out the 1 plus R over 100. Oh, actually, no, we won't. R is 15.5 over 12, isn't it? What's 15.5 over 12? Do you get a nice number or not? That's 31 over 120. It's
31 over 24.
What is it? Oh, yeah, sorry, 31 over 24. But then when we add, so we've got to do 1 plus 31 over 2,400. Because it's 1 plus R over 100, because R is just 31 over 24. 1 plus R over 100 will be 1 plus 31 over 2,400. I'd be writing that as a improper. What do you?
Improper?
Yeah.
2,431 over 2,400.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, that looks fine. It's just that I don't want you rounding off your rate. Okay, and even if it was recurring, how are you going to put all those recurring decimals into your calculator? So the amount owing at the end of the first month. So how many months do we have? N is 7 times 12, which is 84 months. So A1, amount owing at the end of the first month will be the principal, which you don't know what it is. 1 plus R over 100 is 2,431 over 2,400 to the power of 1 minus M, which is minus 1,200. We okay with that? So it's A equals P. This is the 1 plus R over 100 to the N minus, because it's for 1 month. A1, amount owing at the end of the first month. A2 will be amount owing at the end of the first month, which is P times 2,431 over 2,400 to the power of 1 minus 1,200, times your 1 plus R over 100 to the N, which is that, 2,431 over 2,400 to the power of 1 again, minus the 1,200 again. So, what do we get here?
Miss, when we do this on the calculator,
do not put...
those last two terms are not in the same bracket, are they? It's not binomial.
No.
So it's only the...
It's just that times that, that times that.
Yeah, so the last
and then one's on its own. That's on its own. So we've got P, 2,431 over 2,400 squared, minus 2,431 over 2,400 times 1,200, minus 1,200 again. Because you know how it's M and then minus M? So it's that times that, that times that, and then don't forget the minus 1,200 on the end. A lot of people often forget that. A3 will be all of this. I'd like to just write down what A3 is, but it doesn't matter. 2,431 over 2,400 times 1,200. See, if they say show, you have to show all steps. If they don't say show, if they just say to work it out, you don't need to show all steps. So I think you probably start feeling a bit more confident. So that's the amount at the end of the second month times the new 1 plus R over 100 to the power of 1 minus 1,200 again. So A3 is P 2,431 over 2,400 cubed minus 2,431 over 2,400 squared times 1,200 minus 2,431 over 2,400 times 1,200 minus 1,200, which obviously is going to be, girls, it's just a lot of writing with these. Minus M is not m, but 1200 is your common factor. We all good? Getting better with these? Plus 2431 over 2400 plus 1. Now what do we do? A84. A84 will be P2431 over 2400 to the power of 84 minus 1200 times 2431 over 2400 to the power of 83 plus all the way down to the 1. But A84 equals 0 as loan is paid off. Therefore, you can put 0 equals if you want. I'm just going to make P the subject now. Therefore, P will be, what will it be? I think it'll be the denominator, this over the other one. So therefore, P will be the 1200, actually I'll go over the page. Oh no, I can probably fit it here. P equals 1200 2431 over 2400. No, I'll go the 1 first. 1 plus 2431 over 2400 plus all the way up to the power of 83. 2431 over 2400 all to the power of 83. And all of that is over, can you see what I've done? All of that is over I can't fit it. 2431 over 2400 to the power of 84. Can you see what I'm trying to do? You can see what I'm trying to do. And then you can just, the numerator now is a sum of series.
Wait, how did you get the denominator?
Well, have a look. If you want P to be the subject and you put this equal to 0, don't you take this over to the other side and you divide by that?
Sorry.
Yeah. And divide by that first bit. Sorry, I know it's messy now. And the numerator is a sum of a series with A equals 1, R is 2431 over 2400. And the numerator, because it's a geometric series with A is 1, R is 2431 over 2400 and N is 84. So the sum of those 84 terms is A, which is 1, bracket R 2431 over 2400 to the power of 84 minus 1, close bracket, over R minus 1. And we get that the sum of those 84 terms is, so when we get that answer, we'll be putting it over 2431 to the over 2400 to the power of 84.
So I don't know if it's right, but I got 150.1122798.
All right, so this is what someone's got. We'll just see how we go. 150.1122, and then we're dividing that by what was on the numerator. 2431 over 2400 to the power of 84. What did you get? 100 and?
No, she said that she got the same answer.
Oh, same answer, yep. So the principal is not going to be in the hundreds of dollars. They're borrowing, we're looking for something like 5,000, I don't know, 10,000, I'm not sure. Okay, now it appears that this value that has been given is incorrect. This is not $150 here. So just be very careful here. I believe the problem is here with the denominator. 2431 over 2400 minus 1 is 31 over 2400. So if you now, and then this is 1 times all of that, so you just need to do this here to the power of 84 minus 1, get an answer, divided by 31 over 2400. I'm just going to do that again because the answer that we got before was wrong. So this summation is correct, the 150. Sorry, I've actually found where the error is now. So if that is the summation of that series, but if we go back to here, P equals 1200 times the summation of that series over 2431 over 2400 to the power of 84. Sorry, I know this is a little bit messy, but I think because it was on the opposite page, we couldn't really see it. So therefore, the principal equals 1200 times the summation of the series. So just need to come back over here, see, because it's 1200 times all of that. So just over here, the sum of the series was 150, and that is fine, but we just do 1200 times the sum of that series divided by this denominator here, and I'll just work that out now. Getting is $61,292.20. Now I've looked